Welcome back to the final.
Welcome back already. It's time now for game 2 of IG vs Tongfu. We're here live in Starlight Season 12. GoDz. Joining me is, well, fellow Aussie. I'm going to call him an Aussie. It's Basskip. How you doing, buddy? Ooh. Maybe I'm not joined by him. Am I joined by Basskip? I should be. Maybe just waiting for him to come back for a second. Oh, there we go. Sorry, man.
Parker, I'm here.
Oh,
what's up?
I had my volume mix. My volume mixer's confusing me, man. I had you muted for a second. You're back.
That's all right. I'm here. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I've got my tea this morning and feeling pretty strong right now.
That's good. Well, I hope Tongfu are feeling strong for game 2.
Oh yeah. This is not looking like a very friendly group for them. They've got LGD and IG. It's gonna be tough to get out of this group.
Yeah. Oh, this time around, some slight differences in the draft. Tongfu are going to get rid of the Brood right out of the gates this time around. And also going to get rid of the Troll. Bat is also going to be dealt with. And we actually have a first pick Jug. Okay.
From mine? Wow. Really, I guess, valuing the Jug which Burning played back in game 1 and going to go for it once more. Sounds like a pretty... I mean, we talked about maybe IG going a bit more experimental with their Game 2 draft and trying something a bit different as far as their strategies go, but Jug signifying they want to just go with their tried and tested and proven strategies.
Okay, and Tongfu have something up their sleeve, gonna go for the Bristle Wisp, which we have actually not... I feel like I haven't seen it as much recently, but there were definitely a few games during where this combo absolutely went off, so... Actually pretty excited to see it here this game, and it gives them decently flexible lanes. I mean, they're over on the Radiant side, so they could run the Bristle Wisp in the off lane if they wanted to. They could potentially grab another partner for the Wisp in mid and run a dual lane there. Bristle could also potentially be safe lane. And you can grab a Crimson Guard as well, one of the few Crimson Guard carrying heroes in the pool, which is pretty solid against Jug. So I think this is a good answer from Tongfu so far.
Yeah, I think just, I mean, even going back to like the first ban Brood, Brood's one of those heroes which can just change everything. You have to entirely change your playstyle, what you're doing. It's kind of, I mean, maybe not a fair comparison, but similar to like when you're versing a techies. Your entire mentality of how you lane and how you play is different. So I think it's a good hero to ban out against a team like IG, especially when you're just got a new roster. You want to be maybe just focusing on working on your own strats. To be put outside of like your comfort zone there is not something Tongfu had in mind for game 1. So game 2, they get a little duo of their own, and IG get the Jug with the Storm Spirit of all heroes, so we'll see Ferrari possibly switching over from the Shadow Fiend to the Storm this game.
Yeah, so I think the Storm's primarily there to hunt the Wisp, because otherwise I don't think you're going to be able to bring down Bristle too easily. Queen of Pain ban, serving a couple of purposes, could be slightly annoying for the Storm Spirit if she manages to get ahead and get into an Orchid, but also a hero that's very, very good at dealing with Juggernaut with that new pure damage ultimate. Just destroy him during spin, absolutely no problem.
Something
so
Tongfu used to do with that QoP, go back to DAC, they did the support QoP. I reckon,
oh yeah, I remember that.
I reckon it's viable, but that was one of the questions I got asked recently when I was streaming. I was like, what's a hero that's not played as a support that you think is viable as support? And I still think it might be QoP. Like, that level 1 blink range is crazy. Shadow Strike a good ganking spell, but I think it was Kiad who left the team who used to play it, so maybe something Tongfu won't be pulling out. But...
I think for me it's probably Kunkka, but we see it occasionally. Like some teams try and run support Kunkka, but I'd like to see more personally. But,
this looks like a Tongfu draft. Like seeing what they've done during DAC and in the past, having like a Wisp Bristleback, Slurk has been a go-to hero of theirs. This just to me looks like Tongfu much more in their comfort zone.
Yeah, I think this draft also shows off a little bit of the weaknesses of the Jug first pick. I feel like IG were in a lot of ways pressured to ban the Axe and the QoP if they wanted to take the Jug, and people have just been playing against it so much this version that they've kind of sussed out what the what your favorite counters are. Like Slark, definitely very solid. The Bristleback, also a very good answer, like we were talking about with the Crimson Guard earlier. So I think some teams have started to shy away from Juggernaut as a first pick. Troll as a first pick is still pretty popular, but looks like IG still have faith in it here, and we'll see how it goes if the Tongfu counters are up to snuff.
Yeah, it feels like Jug, as far as the 3 spin to win heroes goes, is the one that is like least value as far as where teams prioritize him in the draft. The Axe and the Troll kind of normally taking preference, but we'll see IG continue to pick it up. Have not got, as you said, the best answer for a Slark. Jug not particularly good there. Witch Doctor neither. Storm with an Orchid can offer some kill potential later on, but feels like they want to have that one support who at least matches up decently against Slark. They go for a Tide, who's also kind of so-so against the Slark. You've got AoE damage that can hit him when he's Dark Pacting and all that, but it's very easy to get rid of the Anchor Smash with a Dark Pact.
Yeah, and Tide in general, I'd say at the moment, seems like a somewhat so-so hero. You know, we're seeing less big ultimates that teams need to fight around, so I think that's definitely something that Tongfu could look to exploit this game. If if a bad Ravage ever goes off, then if it's in an even game, Tongfu could definitely snag a couple of towers and swing things back. And interestingly, Tongfu banned the Ancient Apparition. I mean, we were just talking about lockdown issues for IG, and while the AA is really annoying for Slark, I feel like they do still need maybe some additional stuns. Actually, I guess they've got Storm, they've got Witch Doctor, they've got Tide. They're kind of alright.
Yeah, I was thinking like, okay, when you counter Slark, you want like some lockdown or AoE damage, but I feel like the Ice Blast is actually one of the better counters as well to this hero, and also fits in as far as countering the Wisp with his heals. So
that's true. Yeah, that's something
they may go for that lockdown approach now, since the AA is kind of that niche little hero that can counter a hero like Slark, and we'll see what that may be, but yeah, it does feel like they're going to have to take a different approach here. Vengeful Spirit's still in the pool. IG are on that dire side, and does give them that easy access into Roche. Not exactly a hero with crazy amounts of lockdown, but even just having the one magic missile or a defensive swap can be kind of nice for your team.
Yeah, definitely could be good. The one thing that Tongfu kind of already have going for them is that they've got the Bristle and the Slark, and I don't want to downplay Storm as a core at all, because I think he's still one of the best late game cores potentially in the game, just with his mobility and damage and killing off supports. But I think if it just comes down to a straight right click war, then once Tongfu starts to get ahead, the Bristleback and the Slark are going to be very scary, especially with Wisp backing them up. So we'll just have to see how they want to round out this lineup. I guess it's probably their mid hero here. Even something like a Puck could work really well. Gives them some additional lockdown for the Jug or the Storm. Some more ways to keep people in the middle of fights of Bristleback and Slark.
I like the idea of the Puck, man, but Puck is a hero that has seen very little pick rate over the past month or so. This hero has disappeared completely, it feels like.
We barely see it.
It's still a hero which I feel is really good, so I'm glad we get to see some here from Tongfu. But yeah, it definitely has fallen off a lot.
Yeah, definitely the case. I mean, people are running more cores mid. I mean, if you think about or bigger carries, cores mid. Bigger carries mid. You know, you see lots of sniper and a little bit of troll mid occasionally. Storm still seen in mid, but I mean, we've seen how good he is against a lot of the heroes in this version, so I think that's no big surprise. But yeah, Puck, a little bit of an old pick, but we'll see how it does. And IG just gonna wrap things up with Lina, so
Tron loves this hero, so yeah, it's gonna be Tron picking it up. This just feels like okay, we got game one, that was pretty straightforward and easy. Just pick me a Lina Faith for game two. I think it's still a decent support option. Great burst damage, actually kind of the stun, and it has got stun as well as good damage to kill off a Slark very quickly in general, so not a bad hero to have.
Yeah, they've actually got a lot of potential ways to kill off a Slark, even in his ultimate now. If he pops it when he's too low, Ravage could go off, or you just get hit by a stray Dragon Slave, and down you go. So I think it's definitely a nice pickup here for IG.
Alrighty, well, we'll see how things unravel here. I'm wondering how these lanes will pan out. Tongfu likely to go for that kind of Wisp Bristleback in the off lane, if they feel like they can contest the safe lane of IG, but it is going to be most likely a tri lane from IG with the Witch Doctor, Jug, Lina. That's a lane with a lot of kill potential.
Yeah, they've actually got options. I mean, if they want to run aggressive, they definitely could and get a little bit of practice. It's a little bit dicey on the dire off lane sometimes, but still an option. I'm slideshow, so I'll probably have to reconnect real quick.
That's something I haven't missed about Chinese Dota.
That's true, yeah.
I'm glad it didn't happen to me, because that would have been a quick way to just ruin all my excitement of getting back to casting some Chinese Dota. But
yeah, that's very true.
Fingers crossed for LD and Coddle Guy, who'll be kind of taking over China once I fly off to Malaysia, that they don't experience some of that. But we'll introduce some rosters while you reconnect. It's going to be Faith playing the support, Witch Doctor, Luo, or Z on the Tidehunter, Chuan gonna be on the Lina, Ferrari 430, Storm Spirit burning on the Juggernaut, and that runs off your IG lineup. Looking to set a trap here. They get vision of your Slark with this Observer Ward, and on the Radiant side, Tongfu down 1-0, gonna have ZX Bingo playing the Slark. It's gonna be King J on the Lion. Don't want to look away too much from this bottom lane, as it looks like the mid lane puck is going to be played by Xing Q. It's going to be LPC on the Wisp, and in the off lane, it's going to be U9 switching off of that mid lane to the off lane on the Bristleback. So, CIG very patient here, hoping to get an early first blood, but no contest with this bottom rune by Tongfu. So, IG will secure themselves to the bottom bounty rune. Looks like Tongfu will get the top. Both mid laners going to get that bounty rune advantage, and well, no longer an advantage when they both get it.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Tongfu to maybe give the Wisp the bouncy rune and get a fast bottle up on him, but he actually ended up buying some regen, and looks like he's not going to be joining the Bristleback off lane right from the word go. Actually, is he? He's kind of gliding his way up there right now.
You don't really want to leech XP from your mid 1v1 matchup here. I feel like...
Yeah.
That would definitely be a quick way to piss off your puck. He wants you out of there. He wants his levels if he wants to be able to beat a Storm. Go for that kill around the time your puck hits level 6. If you can get 6 before a Storm does, you can maybe find that kill. So, bottom lane, it's actually going to be an IG offensive trial lane coming out. Your Slark already getting harassed very heavily, and this doesn't even really feel like the hard lane anymore for the Dire side. With where the creep equilibrium meets here, this Slark is getting zoned out of XP range, just single-handedly by the fact that these creeps are meeting too far up, and Chuan is just coming around time and time again with these stuns, constant harass from your Lina. Force it out of pounce even, and this is looking like a rough lane for Slark.
Yeah, and Slark's just a bad laner to begin with, right? Pretty low armor, not the best health.
Yeah.
Decent escapes, but you know, in this kind of situation where there might be a cask to chase, or you've even got relatively fast heroes like the Jug chasing you down, it makes it a little bit tough. So Slark done off to the best start. Looks like Wisp is going to be sticking to his guns though, at least for now. And staying up topside, and King J actually just going to say, okay, look, we're not fighting this tri-lane head-on. He's going to try and rotate around and get something done elsewhere.
If D-Ward looks like they may have scouted out this Observer Ward being placed earlier, so he comes in for that, but yeah, he's going to hope for maybe a 2-minute rune, like an Invis or a Haste up top to try and find some pressure somewhere on the map, but unlikely to get too much done as a level 1 Lion, so feels like IG can get a lot more on the map. They're even taking some of this Radiant jungle here. Faith just, well... Gonna go at that bottom rune now. Finds the boundary rune. It's an invis up top, although not taken by King J. He's just gone for the straight up rotation, which looks like it will be scouted out by the IG side. Lua, if he plays safe, should be in the clear, but we'll see what happens here.
Okay, he's seen them. He's gonna be all right.
He knows.
It's like, yeah.
Well, you think he knows, but every now and then Lua has these moments where you're wondering what he's doing, but not one of them there. Mid lane Ferrari having well, getting jumped on by the puck here. Puck does have a level 1 waning rift, but not going to go for it as well, the Storm did eventually get out of range.
Yeah, it would have taken one more auto attack. I think even if he'd dropped the waning rift, he was on 67 hit points and it's 70 before reductions.
Got to go for that 2-2-0 build. Catch him by surprise with no face shield.
Yeah. Could have happened. I mean, Ferrari, I guess, wasn't anticipating Jin-Q to go for the jump there. Very even on the mid lane,
yeah,
as well. Puck really holding his own. And this is a pretty even matchup in general, I would say, to begin with.
Bottom lane, Chuan as well as Faith in a good position to apply some pressure on Bingo, but gets the pounce out just to be on the safe side and no stun.
He's still 0-0. This is really rough.
I mean, at least he's level 2, but that's not feeling like a very good kind of at least moment for him. And the supports, at least Faith having boots now. Chuan no boots on himself, but things looking pretty dreamy for IG as far as his bottom lane goes. And you're tied. He's level 3.5. He's got 6 CS. It feels like a similar story to last game where IG just dominating where they have their tri lane, and then Luo getting a lot out of his 1v3 lane or wherever he's up against, which is meant to be a tough lane, but he still gets farm, he still gets lots of good XP. We're seeing a similar thing here come out.
Yeah, and Tongfu, they've kind of, I'd say, missed their opportunity to apply any pressure to Ferrari on mid. He's going to get his level 6 pretty soon, which is going to make it difficult to try and rotate over. The Wisp is actually there, in fact, but not a whole lot that he can do. And IG just going for the tower bot.
Yeah. Bingo going to be forced to just pounce away. Faith has a cast, but not going to chase after. Chuan a bit too far away. So look at this fast tier 1 tower here, and this just opens up so much ability for them to rotate into the enemy jungle. You've got a Jug who can, once he has a Morbid Mask or a Mask of Madness, just farm it away. So they can find kills so easily down bottom with this tier 1 tower taken as early as it has been. Yeah. They can even rotate their supports elsewhere on the map, try to find kills on someone like a Puck with a Storm initiation from his level 6. And Storm looks like he will hit 6 comfortably. Actually, maybe not. He's not there yet. And Lion is at the mid lane with a level 2. Puck is a Dream Coil. Very small window where Ferrari could get caught out here if he's not careful. But he's pinging exactly where King J is. He seems well aware of what's going on. There we go. Hits level 6 as he goes in for that creep. Balls out. Xingqiu went for the kill, but Ferrari knew what he was doing, knowing that that creep was going to give him his level 6.
That was such a little thing, but so nicely executed by Ferrari.
If that one creep wouldn't have given him level 6, he wouldn't have gone for that. He wouldn't have gone in, because he knew the line was
he definitely wouldn't. Yeah, or he had an idea that the line was there. Oh, and they're also going to get a D ward up on the high ground. Fortunately, that wasn't a fresh ward, so Tongfu is still going to be able to reestablish vision before too long. But their supports are struggling. They've moved around a lot and just have got nothing. I mean, there's a total of 4 last hits between the bottom 3 Tongfu heroes right now. That is a sad state of affairs.
It really seems to be the difference between these two teams for the most part is like the laning setup and the support play. I mean, it hasn't all been the support play. A lot of it is the supports have been set up by success by the way they've laned things and the strategy involved, but even beyond that, the execution from the supports of IG has just been pretty polished. Burning down bottom, getting close to that level 6. Once he hits 6, he does pose that pretty high kill threat onto a Slark.
Yeah, just both staying down here, reminding Slark that he does still need to be a little bit careful, not giving him free farm at all. And it's the right move from IG. It's going to force Tongfu to come and dedicate supports to a lane just for the Slark to get some farm, so they can't be off, pressuring Ferrari or anything on those lines. And I feel like the Tongfu supports have just spent so much time this game wandering the map. Lion's been top for a bit, and then tried to gank mid, and now he's back to mid again. Wisp's only level 3. They do have decent farm on the Bristleback, but he's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting along with the Puck for them to get the Slark back into this game. They're going to have to start pressuring.
The Slark just not really known for being a comeback farmer or even a hero in general. Like he's ideally meant to be a mid-game killer. But with no items, he's going to struggle to do that.
Yeah, I think he definitely just needs to go for sort of value stats, right? Needs to get his sort of Aquila treads, maybe even a wand this game potentially with all the spells on IG, and then just max Darkpact and go and spam creep waves, spam jungle. He's not really going to get involved. At
some point, maybe hope to farm like a Blink Dagger. I feel like the Blink even over the Shadow Blade just for that like initiation onto a Lina. It's a bit cheaper as well. Going for items that are as cheap as possible seem like the best way to play things right now. With the limited farm he's getting, but that's much further down the lines. He picks up a Gloves of Haste. I'm hoping this is not for a Midas. This feels like a catastrophic game to be picking up a Midas, but who knows? Maybe it's an idea that's going to help him catch up as far as XP goes, because he is very underleveled as well.
I think it's a BKB game, so potentially not a Blink game as a result, because I think Blink into BKB is a bit of a weak build. So yeah, I'd prefer almost to see the Shadow Blade or even just something like an S&Y early. King J jumps.
You're going to see a first blood. Storm Spirit picks up your line. That's your level 6 Ball Lightning coming to play. Lua's got a Ravage as well. Is he going to go for this one? Hits 2 with the Ravage. Follow up from your Storm Spirit. They get the kill. Ferrari. I think he had a regen rune at the start of that one. He's not done. The Orb on cooldown. It looks like Puck going to get caught out. Oh, it's going to be a 3 for nothing. IG picking up where they left off from game 1 with a string of kills to go their way. And Bristleback rotating. He has to be careful. Jug is here with a level 6 Omni Slash available. Looks like he's going to swing back towards the bottom lane. And IG have other things on their mind rather than taking any further towers in the mid lane.
Yeah, and with the death on Puck and also just the way he's building in general this game, he's gone for Wand, Treads, Null, Bottle. He's barely started progress on his Blink Dagger at all. So it's just, who's going to fight for Tongfu? Who's going to be able to go and actually make some plays so that the heroes are behind can catch up? Because U9 can't do it by himself. He definitely needs the Puck along for support. So that really hurts.
And it's just complete greed from IG right now. Lina's been solo farming down the bottom lane. Lina was harassing the tier 2 bottom tower. Burning takes over the jungle. Chuan's got himself up to level 6 with boots. So You have a Lina solo pushing a bottom lane. They even TP in the Wisp to like go with the Slark, but they're not threatening to kill the Lina there. That was purely like a defensive TP, so nothing really going their way here. Dragon Slave harass actually misses the Slark, otherwise he could be looking to set up for a Laguna kill here, but this is just a dangerous place to be for any Tongfu heroes, with the level advantage that IG have.
This is one situation where I really wish, when you're watching a game in Dota TV, you can, Tron, Hex, was a stun, but Slark's so far away.
Yeah, it was actually the Wisp who was trying to rotate in from the north who got sniped by the Juggernaut Omni Slash, so Chuan going to keep on solo pushing this lane and contesting the farm of your Slark. Doesn't have mana for the Laguna Blade, but doesn't seem to be too big of an issue for him as IG pull ahead 4 kills to nothing, but it's, yeah, 4,000 or 5,000 gold lead. It's the farm more than anything, it feels like, as opposed to the kills right now. And just the general map control IG have.
Yeah. I really, just to finish that thought, I really wish we had quick buy information as live broadcasters, because it's actually in Dota TV. If you go to player perspective, you get the quick buy, but we don't get it live for whatever reason. I think it'd be really cool, but oh well. A man can dream.
Maybe make it so that the casters can see it, or like on some side thing, so that we can predict items while the viewers don't know. It just seems incredibly clever.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going for this. I think there was one example where, like, there was one game, I'm not sure who was casting it, but EE was Void and bought a Ring of Health, and I think people were speculating that it was just, you know, the value Ring of Health, waiting in the side shop, getting regen, and then reselling it. But he actually had Battle Fear on his quick buy.
Okay.
The entire game. So it's just little bits like that. Luo getting dove top.
Yeah, should be a kill here. Bristleback getting some good sprays. Does get the Kraken to get rid of it, but, well, the kill's still there, and Unai gets Tongfu's first kill of the game, but there's some counterplay coming in. They're not going to commit to the Bristleback. He's a bit too tanky. He has 10 stick charges as well as that Vanguard, so looks like just a freebie pickup for Tongfu. Just getting very low in the jungle, but he's just looking for that level 6.
We said Unai need to make plays, and they are getting something done, so he's also going to be able to sit up here and farm. They got a nice little Radiant Ward off to the side to keep him safe, so Bristleback is pretty much set. Slark is starting to get something, and, well, it does have 1.1k gold banked, so looks like it is might actually be comeback Midas.
Well, I guess just try and take this to kind of like an ultra late game stage with Bristleback and Puck maybe creating the space he needs in the mid game. Puck is getting some money towards that Blink Dagger, up to 1,400 gold now. Storm in the mid lane though, Ferrari, point boost to Soaring, looking to go straight into that Bloodstone, it seems. And well, for IG, just kind of fairly standard stuff for most of their core heroes.
Yeah, nothing too shocking, just kind of winning the economy battle a little bit. Though, if you look at the graphs, Tongfu have managed to tip things up a little bit in their favor over the course of the last couple of minutes, so that's looking good. Luo's going for a mech build here on his Tide, so it does signify that perhaps IG want to be doing a little bit more 5-manning, and I think that's fine. If they can 5-man down this tier 1 mid tower, then they really open up Roshan, especially if, you know, like, I was about to say if Faith wanted to go for a medallion or something like that, but we've actually got a Midas recipe in this Witch Doctor's inventory right now, so some pretty greedy play.
Wow, completed Midas as well. He's not even going to use on this Hellbear. He wants the big creep. He wants the Satyr, and he'll get it.
He beat the Slark.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say?
He's a full, like, 100 net worth ahead of the Slark right now. That's some value for Faith. Well, IG securing their late game with a Witch Doctor, I guess. Why not? Chuan himself is looking pretty farmed. He's level 7. He's going to go for the Arcane Boots. Forgotten relic of an item, the Arcane Boots. This is not an item you see very often on many heroes anymore. All about that Tranquil Soaring build, it seems, nowadays on most kind of mana-dependent heroes.
Yeah, I think it's more for his team than anything. Jug can struggle a little bit for mana, especially since Burning's gone phase instead of treads. Your Tide's gone for his mech, so that's an extra drain on his mana pool, especially with the new mech mana cost. And, well, Storm's never unhappy with some extra mana for himself, so I think it's a pretty smart pickup this game.
Possibly looking to pounce in this top lane. King J needs to be careful. He pokes too far forward. Could get caught out here, but IG, they actually don't have good catch potential outside of the Storm. If Storm's not there, they have no one to initiate in to start a fight. Because your lane is not really doing it.
DD regen Storm. at the ready.
Oh god, that doesn't get much worse than that. 9 though, is that the Ancients not getting spotted out, farming a decent sized stack here. This will... Well, looks like he's picked up an Ogre Club, possibly Sanjin Yasha. I think... I don't know, Sanjin Yasha or BKB. I feel like the Sanjin Yasha, if you're the tempo control, you're better off going for something that allows you to fight a bit better, but... I don't know, long term you want both, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's maybe an argument for going something like SNY Pipe, I guess. You know, Pipe helps you tank. You still draw fire, but if you're eating all of the stuns, then hopefully, you know, your Slark is able to get something done or something similar. Though it does, if you just look at IG's lineup, it does feel somewhat like a mandatory BKB game. So we'll see what he ends up doing. IG, meanwhile, don't even need the medallion. Just gonna swipe in, grab Roshan, and just put the Aegis over on the Storm Spirit. Pretty much one of the best Aegis carriers in the game.
Yeah, for the most part, IG just making things look easy right now. Storm not really maybe that crazy farmed. It's going to look for killing the Puck here. They get the stun Laguna Blade. They bring down Puck and didn't even need the Electric Vortex there. The phase shift kind of set up the leaner to make sure that stun hit, which was a bit unfortunate, but IG just find a casual pick off here, and that was with the Puck having a Blink Dagger as well, so at least he spent his money, but unfortunately does give up the kill.
But we are starting to see that there are going to be some opportunities for Tongfu to potentially get things done. They're getting caught top. King J, nice hex.
Ferrari has a regen room, which is likely to pop and then just go chasing, looking for this kill. Balls for the... Oh, executed by the Impale. That ruins the regen room. They'll still lose King J, but could have potentially lost more if that regen wasn't cancelled. Ferrari now pretty low in mana, but he's going to be picking up that Bloodstone very, very soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, Tongfu, they can't take a full-scale engagement at the moment with the state that Slark is in. They really have to be looking for pickoffs instead with the Puck. But they are loosely moving up towards top lane right now. This could be a mistake, especially with the Aegis over on Ferrari as well.
Storm is
and Mech and Ravage.
Kind of holding hands across the trees. They haven't spotted one another here. One remnant from Ferrari could give him some vision. Not going to go for it here. The smoke from Tongfu, they want to make a play here. This is the fight it seems like they've decided they want to take in Storm. If he gets caught up by Blink Silence, could go down, but will have the Aegis respawn. Finds the Wisp and will go chasing after. Wants LPC, not going to get him right away. Chews through all his mana and they relocate out elsewhere. It's a 3 for nothing. I was watching the wrong fight. Lures Ravage, not enough. Neither is the Mech. They're going to lose 4. IG get overrun by Tongfu, the Bristle boss. Doing some serious work there with the Puck Blink initiation. Too busy keeping an eye on Ferrari, what he was up to, but he needed to be helping his team, it looks like.
Well, I was totally wrong. I was like, oh, Tongfu can't actually take a fight, but never mind. Get a great initiation and just blow up 4, and then I'll disconnect.
Oh, man. The timing, at least they've won the team fight now, so hopefully nothing too malicious going on here, and we'll have a reconnect coming soon, but that fight was something. I'm kind of sad to say I missed most of it because the Storm too busy watching what the Storm was doing with his cute little plays over in the backlines chasing after the Wisp, but that was not the fight to be watching.
I mean, I think the big thing is that they just blew up the Juggernaut so fast. Tide even managed to get Ravage off, but did not matter in the end. It was a great initiation out of Tongfu, and that pretty much equalizes the game, I think.
Yeah, very close to it. And Burning, I feel like, again, going for this similar build to last game with the Yasha Shadowblade, I feel like this is a super greedy way to itemize a Jug. Not going for either a Sanjin Yasha or a Manta style. You're so squishy. He gets blown up so fast because of this build.
Yeah, I think I don't know in the previous game if he finished his Shadowblade before he went Manta. Did you happen to spot him?
I think he got the Shadowblade first. I think he even got like Shadowblade, then Skadi, and then Manta after the Skadi, I want to say, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm almost certain he got the Shadowblade before the Manta or the Skadi though. He got it like right after the Yasha. Alright, I'm gonna go try and catch that fight again, see exactly what happened. Nice. So let me know if it resumes. We're gonna load up the Dota TV. There we go. Hopefully coming soon. See what we missed.
Ghetto instant replay.
Yeah. This is the ghetto instant replay. The hashtag production value. I don't know if I got in fast enough. It is a 2-minute delay. And nope, I missed it. Everyone's already dead.
You could at least check the...
Teamfight recap?
Can you check the recap or not?
It's only showing me the Tide kill.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's...
Wait, can I? I don't think I can rewind either because I wasn't in time.
No, you weren't in the game.
Oh man, we've lost. All right.
GG.
The camera throws happening here. This is where the real 3-2-2 is. Well, hopefully get back in fairly soon.
you just gotta pin it on the cameraman, right? That's like, it's not you controlling the camera, GoDz. It's,
oh yeah. We've still got Weppers here from DAC.
Yeah. Ah, jeez, Weppers just can't.
Can't do anything right. What is this? All right, so play's starting to reconnect and hopefully getting back in soon. Oh,
hopefully be back in just a second. Okay, so that's a bit of a wake-up call for IG. They do still have a decent 3 or 2 and a bit minutes, well, just shy of 3 minutes on their Aegis. So they could still potentially pick themselves up and dust themselves off and go and get another fight with that. But it's going to be a pretty narrow window with the Ravage on cooldown. 2 minutes on that. So they can only line them up for 1. The tier 1 tower top dropped pretty low, but I don't think Tongfu are too concerned about losing that. They're probably going to get this tier 1 top on top of all of the kills that they just snagged. Yeah. So that really blows the game wide open.
I feel like IG are going to realize like their current lineup position is such that they should just be sticking to playing greedy, looking for farm, not fights. Fighting the Wisp Bristleback right now is just not the play to make. This Bristleback is pretty much at one of his kind of peaks as far as his ability to fight right now, and even Slark not kind of offering a decent amount too. So I think just getting your completed Bloodstone, even another item on your Storm, getting some, like, I mean, I guess they already got the Blink on the Tide, so they don't have that much room to go. But I feel like the Jug more than anyone is the one who's going to be needing more items to kind of take this to the late game. But
yeah, definitely needs his survivability items. Ari does almost have his Bloodstone completed, so that's going to be a nice little pickup for him to start looking for more of these picks on, I guess, by and large, he's looking for kind of the Slark and the Wisp. Puck, potentially, but doesn't have an Orchid, so that could complicate matters a little bit, especially since Puck got a bunch of levels out of that fight and is going to have his rank 4 phase shift sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But the other thing about that fight is I think it totally leaves Slark to get away with this Midas pickup.
Oh, I think the Midas has paid off at this point already. Like, he's hit level 11 now, slightly because he hasn't made up maybe the gold that he spent on it, but the attack speed in general is pretty nice for a Slark to have, so yeah, seems like an item which is going to easily pay off for itself. Doesn't mean, I mean, Tongfu, I think, still playing slightly from behind. It's a 3,000 net worth difference, and I think one of the big stories, again, is these supports on IG. You've got a Midas on your Witch Doctor. Chuan's got a point booster already. Both IG supports are looking very farm, not just the core heroes, which seems to be more the case on the Tongfu side, where their cores are now in a good spot, but their supports still aren't offering too much.
I mean, this Bristleback is just godly at the moment. He can definitely take a lot of punishment. He's actually ended up going for the SNY, which I think I actually prefer to the BKB this game.
I fully agree. I think the BKB rush would have been a big mistake as far as his ability to fight right now. The HP alone is going to keep him alive for some time, until like Lina gets an Ag Scepter and Jug gets another item, and then later on he may need the BKB so he can deal with the stuns, but
you're also just impossible to ignore. I mean, if you have the BKB, jump in,
catch get a 2-hero silence as well, and this is where U9 is going to shine with this fresh silence, and Yasha going to bring down Chuan for once Faith. Nice, Ravage going to keep Faith alive a bit longer. Can they bring down the Bristleback? He's not turning his back. He's got to turn the other way. He does do so in the end. Lua chasing forward with the ball lightning from Ferrari. They want to bring down this boss, but they can't do it. A blink anchor smash could be enough. Nope, doesn't get in front of him. It's the Gash, and Burning swoops around, gets him with a crit. And that's the kill they were looking for. Unfortunately for the Bristleback, he tanked the Witch Doctor ultimate while stunned and could not turn away. Almost went very well for Tongfu.
The fight recap. I wanted to see how much damage the Death Ward had actually done there, but fight recap a little bit off.
We'll just load up the replay again. Let's get out of this game. Whoa, Ferrari almost catches out a T-Ping line up top lane. He went for a full mana ball lightning across the map, but didn't find it.
Storm racks up a couple of Bloodstone charges out of that fight as well, so Ferrari is snowballing nicely, but there is the Lion Blink Dagger up now from King J, so that's potentially their answer to help keep him locked down and find that kill. And Burning's got his Shadow Blade now up, so he's actually just playing aggressively, farming enemy ancients. Gonna leave them one little crappy creep for their trouble.
It's being a bit of a general menace right now, and yeah, that was a big kill for him to get that Bristleback as well. Puts him up to level 13. Yeah. It has 2k gold on top of the Shadow Blade, so... So what if IG look to defend this mid lane? No Ravage for a little bit, but Tide TPing in the front lines is not really a hero or target Tongfu want to go on if they want to try and push and take a fight. With him being one of the tankier and harder to deal with heroes, but... Smoke from Xingqiu and King J. They are going to go in. They want Luo. It looks like a Dark backed out. Bingo's going to be careful. One looking to be like, big coil! Waning Rift on 3. Where's the Impale? Where's the finger? King J brings out trying to start things off. Luo could be next in line, but they back off with the Witch Doctor ultimate coming out. They're going to lose LPC. Anchor Smash not really doing too much immediately, but Bingo, he's got the Malachron. Goes down 2 for 1 so far. U9 next in line. Where's your Impale? Doesn't come out. It's the Omni Slash from burning, killing off your Bristle. And King J's got to hope that he doesn't take damage before this blink comes back up, because he's in some trouble. Looks like he will get back to freedom. They're not going to chase him down. Another team fight going slightly IG's way. Tongfu are having a much better job this game than game 1, but IG just keeping all their cores alive every single time. 14 Bloodstone charges now for Ferrari.
Yeah, and Bristleback a little bit late to the party there. I mean, Slark re-engaged Xingqiu.
Back in we go. Can he get out of this one with the orb? Looks like he will do so, but it's a questionable relocate from your Wisp. Which will be the, I guess, sacrificial lamb, although I'm not sure his sacrifice was entirely needed.
They really need another team fight where Wisp teams up with the Bristle. I mean, that's the combo that they picked, and that's the big reason that they're... It's not even they didn't win the top fight because of that, because Wisp actually relocated the Slark in, but
yeah,
it does seem like Bristleback needs an extra bit of a survivability kick. Especially, he is getting locked down, and IG are doing a really good job of just pummeling him from the front, so his passive hasn't done as much, I think, as he would like. Chuan, meanwhile, looks like not going to be a Yules or anything for him. He's just grabbed the point booster, and looks like straight Ags is the name of the game, and Luo is just making his way towards a refresher orb, so it's definitely going to be nice. Burning does end up going for the Manta style. So I think realizing that he can get bursted down after what happened top, yeah. So has a way to get out of the silence at least now.
Yeah, unless the lines there as well with like a Blink Hex and Pale, it's probably going to be okay for Burning in these fights. So we'll see him likely go into that Skadi again next, and at that point he becomes nearly unkillable. So for now, IG kind of just finding their groove once more after one really bad fight and a couple just kind of 50-50 fights. Things are looking a lot better for them. There is a Slark Shadow Blade now. We'll see what ZX Bingo can get done with this one. He's going to scout out some of the heroes further behind, but realizes there's too many there. And there's not really any easy targets for him outside of maybe the Witch Doctor, but even Witch Doctor is fairly tanky with almost 1200 HP.
Yeah, Power Treads and Point Booster are definitely not easy to bring down. Lina, somewhat easier, but you might get bursted, so yeah. You have to pop your ulti very early, and that's where a big Storm Zip could catch you even after you get the kill and turn it into not a worthwhile trade. So this is definitely tough.
It doesn't feel like there's just solo kill. It's not going to be a game where you can go around looking for solo kills. It's just not worth the risk, and there's unlikely to be anyone that you can get those solo kills on. So, not to say it's a bad item, just not an item which is going to allow him the freedom to take advantage of squishy supports and heroes who are under farm. Bottom lane though, they're kind of going in here. Maledict onto your Bristle actually gets relocated kind of backwards here. A bit of an awkward relocate, and something IG they're pinging out. They seem well aware of what just happened, and they may just have to sacrifice the Wisp here once again. Looks like poor LPC.
You can tether.
Okay, they didn't really want to commit to it. Now Storm will go in. Ferrari gets the quick kill, and without that Wisp, it makes U9's job a lot harder here. The Ravage is available, holding onto it for now. The Omni Slash Death Ward will get the job down. 2 dead, held onto Ravage, and that just makes this impossible for Tongfu to stick around and take any sort of a fight.
The Storm Spirit is just totally out of control. Ferrari has 17 Bloodstone charges, 7, 0, and 7 the scores, so almost 100% participation so far this game.
We find Slark now as well. And he burst him down. The Shadow Blade is there. Bingo. Okay, he's going to survive it. Gets the Dark Pact off. Now Ferrari hexed up. The Impale to follow. Mana Drain and a Finger of Death available. Ferrari uses what mana he can to try ball out of there, and it looks like he may barely survive this. Wisp Spirit's going to hit him a little bit here, but enough mana regen coming to play. Now the Green Coal's there. Ravage going to try to save him. Is it too late? It is! They lose Storm. Instant respawn, though, with the Bloodstone charges. Now comes your stun out onto your Slark, who is invis for the time being. Xingqiu on the puck, trying to phase shift his way out of there. Bingo gets the pounce. He's going to survive with the Shadow Blade. Instead, it's going to be just LPC on the Wisp going down. So for Tongfu, a decent-ish fight for them. Bingo, now healed back up, may look to re-engage here. The healing ward though on the IG side has to be dealt with at some point. Laguna Blade blows up your puck. Slark in trouble as well. Ferrari shows up once more, looks to kind of reclaim some of those lost Bloodstone charges, and it's going to be with a full 5-man team wipe here. U9 goes down in the end. Tide picks up the kill. It's like a 5-for-2 trade, it looks like, as IG destroy Tongfu. 5-for-1, I think Storm the only casualty.
I don't think Ferrari even realized that he respawned instantly, because he spent, maybe his TP was on cooldown, but he just spent like 10 seconds just sitting in base, I think watching that team fight, and then finally rejoined at the end. But as we saw, he wasn't even 100% needed. Brenning's coming to his own, he's got tons of farm, actually another 3.8k on top of this Manta style, so he's just ridiculous. And well, Tongfu,
starting to feel a bit
what
like
can they do? A little bit, but they've put up a much better fight.
Yeah, I definitely agree there, and I think IG not playing quite as polished as they did in the first game. As far as it felt like game one, they didn't take any bad fights. There was never really any moments where Tongfu had the slightest chance to get back in the game. This game, Tongfu's had their moments where they've taken some decent team fights. One where they got the full 4 kills on everyone except for Ferrari, and then other ones where they've kind of traded 2 for 3, or at least looked a bit more even with a good puck initiation. Xingqiu's puck has been pretty solid, all in all.
Yeah, he's been playing very well. The one thing that Tongfu really need is to just, they got to extend the game just a little bit. So they're going to come up top, try and put down, I think this is partially a vision ward for the enemy team, but it's also a bit of a split push ward. Potentially for the Slark to go up there. One of the best plays that Slark can make a lot of the time on the Radiant side is to go keep top lane pushed out and then just farm the 2 westernmost Dire camps when he has the opportunity. So that might set him up for that kind of play, and Tongfu can make the best out of the map right now. You know, Bristle can farm the western Radiant camps, mid lane, and the Ancients, and then they can give, say, potentially Puck the bottom lane. But right now, just gonna put the Slark down bot.
And something to worry about though is IG are gonna be coming at you very soon. They've got big late game items online. Witch Doctor with an Ag Scepter. Luo is just 1 ancient camp away from his Refresher Orb, so those 2 items more or less completed. Your Jug Skadi is more or less completed. And these are kind of like your luxury late game items that you don't expect these heroes to have for like 35 plus minutes. And well, by the way, Jug, Omni Slash brings down your Wisp. And now some of these items I just mentioned will be getting picked up as well. Just pickoffs all over the place. This is not a pretty sight for Tongfu.
And bingo, what do you
Shadow Blade, that flare off.
Okay, he's alright. Ferrari not gonna chase after this time, but Ferrari also another 3.6-year-old, so if he wants a Hex pretty soon, that's definitely no problem whatsoever. U9's farm has stalled a little bit after grabbing this Crimson Guard, and
go in. U9 gonna get picked up here. They've got double Ravages. They may just throw one just for the Bristleback. He's kind of the big boss of this Tongfu side, and with Bristle on the sidelines without a buyback, this is looking kind of hard to hold on to. Refresher's already been used from your Tide. He's got another Ravage ready to go. Is holding on to it for a little bit longer. Not going to use it. Could have maybe hit the Slark with that one, but Slark gets the pounce out. And Luo has that Ravage ready should another fight break out. Or maybe when some of these heroes respawn, the puck will come back in. And it's just going to be a GG call. 2-0 victory. IG with their new roster come out guns blazing in their opening series here at Starlighter Season 12.
Yeah, we'll have to see if LGD can put up a little bit more of a fight. I think the Tongfu definitely found their feet more in that second game, but IG just looking crisp, I think is all I can say.
And for a new roster, like that was pretty impressive as far as just how polished their play was, especially the game one where they were ahead so far, and a lot of teams maybe would have just gone a bit more aggressive, thrown away a few kills here or there, but they played everything by the book, and it's kind of a refreshing sight to see after some of these other regions where teams will get a bit sloppy when they get those leads.
Yeah, and just talking about IG specifically as a team as well, they seem cohesive We've seen past incarnations of this roster where, or this team, where people are just off doing their own thing. You know, it seems like there's little squabbles going on. People aren't working together. That game, you know, they jump in mid. The whole team is there to back up Ferrari. Everybody's working together, and I think that's the other big takeaway from IG so far this series.
Yep. Well, we've got that one big series coming up, guys. That's one Basskip just alluded to. It's IG versus LGD, best of 3. No idea how that series is going to go down. You've got Xiaowei filling in for, well, moving over to LGD now. You've got kind of powerhouses on both sides. LGD didn't have much luck with their previous kind of dream team. We'll see how the addition of Xiaowei works, but that's going to be a big matchup. Coming up at 20 SGT, which is in about 1 hour's time. So we're going to have a bit of an extended break, guys, but be sure to tune in an hour's time. We'll have LGD versus IG. Once again, Basskip will be joining me. You can follow him on Twitter at Basskip. Follow myself at BTS GoDz. But that does it for our first series of today for Starlighter Season 12. See you soon.